Well, hello guys. So on Saturday, I was doing a Facebook Live and a question was asked about my Simply Chamois. So I wanted to do hopefully a pretty quick video here about ways to clean your stamps. So on page 163 of the annual catalog is where you're going to find a handful of supplies to help you clean your stamps. And you've invested in these great products, so let's take care of them and keep them clean. So Stampin' Up sells Stampin' Mist, which is a cleaner. It comes in a bottle with a pump spray, and this is a new one. It's 8 ounces, and so you would just put the pump on the bottle, and you can spray this right on stamps. You can also use your Stampin' Scrub. Let me say, this is $11 for 8, like I said, 8 ounces. We have a Stampin' Scrub, which is $18, and I'd say that I use this the most. I leave it open like this. There is 2 sides to it. There's one with a little sun. Let's flip this guy around so you guys can see. So there's a little sun up here, and then on this side there's raindrops. There we go, raindrops. So the way that I do it is I just spray one side when I'm stamping. I just lightly spray it, and then I take my stamp and I just stamp off as much ink as I can on a piece of scrap paper, and I'll show you. And just like so. So I'm just stamping and trying to get a lot of the ink off. I take my stamp and I clean it off on this side, and then I do it on this side, and that's to kind of dry it. The thing about this is that you can clean this and you can wash it. So the way I have been doing it is I just take this whole thing to the sink. I turn on the water and I just rinse all the ink off, and you'll see the ink is a little reddish tint, and then it'll start running clear. And then I just prop it up in the sink like so and let it dry. And like I said, I usually keep this open. I never want to close it, especially when it's wet. You can take these guys out, and let me, there's little clips in there, and you can, I just did it and it was like so easy. Now it's gonna fight me. So these guys come out, and so you can take these out so that you don't get the hinges wet. I've never really had a problem just running it under the water and letting it air dry. In Yuma, it would take a day to dry. Here in Texas, it takes a little bit longer. But you can also use soap on this. So this last time I washed it, I just squirted a little bit of Dawn soap on there, took my fingers while it was running underneath the water, just to kind of like get all inside there, and this feels like, kind of feels like AstroTurf. So to get it super clean, and then just gonna let it dry like so. And like I said, I just have it right on the side of my desk, and I pretty much just leave it open all the time. We also have, it's called the Simply Chamois, and when you get this, it comes in a cellophane package, and you open it up and it's pretty wet, and you can see that this guy is, think of a car chamois, and that's pretty much what this feels like. And so this one is wet and it's brand new. I haven't used this one. I'm going to show you whether I have little dots on there in a minute. But this is the one that I've been using, gosh, probably, I don't know, a year maybe. And this color and the inking on here never really goes away. But you can rinse it, and this will, and bring it out, and the water doesn't, sometimes you see a little bit of color, but not too much. But you can just, you want to keep this moist, so you want to keep it wet. You can store it, I've seen people store it in Ziploc bags. I like to store it just in one of these, the clear cases that we sell. And it will start to dry. Now in Yuma, if I left this open, it would be dry definitely the next day. So you just take it over to the sink. You hold it under the water, and you kind of have to start playing with it, kind of molding it and rolling it up and stuff to get the water soaked in there. But yeah, and I never really use the other side. I guess I could, but I've just been using this side, and it cleans the stamps really well. Again, a trick I heard the other day, which makes total sense, is to just stamp your stamp. Once you have stamped your project, stamp your stamp a couple times on scrap paper just to get that excess ink off, and it's just going to save you in your cleaning products. So like I said, this one, brand new. This is also really good to clean your Stamparatus. It comes, and this is 7.5 inches, and sometimes I feel like it's a little too big. So I am going to cut this guy in half. So I've already measured 3.5, and I'm just going to get a pretty straight line, hopefully, with my scissors, and cut. And that way, this guy, I can store it in our the wood cases for the wood mount, and that way it's going to get stored in there. And so when I have my Stamparatus and my stamps are sitting on my plate, this is much smaller to deal with and able to control and get that ink off of wherever you're trying to get it off. Sometimes, especially if you're using the big ink pads, the ink gets just a little bit everywhere on your plate. So that's how I clean my stamps. You can look online and find, a handful of different techniques. These are the two that I use most every once in a while, and if you've been to my class, baby wipes are a good thing. I've always heard that they dry your stamps out, but I don't use them all the time. They're just really for convenience, and when there's a handful of people stamping at once. Baby wipes are great to get the ink off your fingers too. So I also I dropped my Picket tool today in the ink pad, and so I just took my Simply Chamois and just wiped it down, and it took the ink right off, so that way it didn't get marked up with, I think it was soft suede it fell in. So hopefully that gives you a little insight. I did want to say with the Simply Chamois, you're only going to be using water. It doesn't require anything else. I saw online that some people will like dip it in water with Dawn. I haven't tried that. It didn't get it any cleaner. Like the ink was still on there. But you can tell when you're trying to clean your stamps and then the ink doesn't come off as well. So that's when I go and I rinse it, and it gets it all clear, and then you put your stamp on there, and it just takes that ink right off the stamp. And it's, I don't know, it's amazing, man. You can see all the different, like this says hello right there. This is a flower. I don't know how it does it, but it's really, really nice. So hopefully that gives you some answers on how to clean your stamps. Both those ways, the Simply Chamois and the scrub, clean your wood mounted, your clear mounted, your photopolymer stamps. yeah, so hopefully you guys are having fun today. Today is Tuesday. Hopefully you are having a good day, and wash your hands, and hopefully you're having a little bit of time to have some paper crafting fun. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.